Arjun sir. Welcome to Bollywood Bubble. And
Hi Akshay, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. So I know your upcoming film Nail Polish is about to release on Z5 on 1st of January. So I would want to know that shooting for this film when there's a pandemic raging across the planet and getting bigger with every passing second, did the anxiety somewhere help you as a team when it comes to the tonality? Given this is an essentially a thriller and an intense drama.
Now in retrospect, that I think, in fact, 2020, to be quite honest with you, Akshay, was supposed to be one of the busiest years of my career because I'd found all the scripts I wanted to do and I'd signed them. And in fact, I was shooting for this film called The Last Battle of Bhima Koregaon when the pandemic hit, so we had to cut short the shoot. And then everybody's at home. We all are like paranoid about what's going on. I was extra paranoid because I have a little baby at home. It was Arik, who's just about a year old. And, things were looking so uncertain, grim, sad. The positives were nature was healing itself. Mother Earth was healing herself, and but at the same time, you saw a lot of sadness all around you about what was happening, with the migrant workers going back. You're seeing horrific images everywhere. People were scared. We were like ants. We had all been thrown back into our little hills where everybody was surviving. But there's lots to take from it. When this movie was offered to me, which I was supposed to do Final Call 2 with Z5, and the script was not ready. On those dates, they had this other project called Nail Polish. And that's when Tarun approached me and he said, would you like to play this defense lawyer and get on board? I was paranoid. I said, Tarun, you know what? I have a little child at home. I don't think I can step out right now. And he said, yeah, just hear the script at least once. Sun to le. It's a fantastic script. It's a fabulous part. Have a read of it. I'm going to introduce you to Bugs Bhargava, who's the director, a great guy. And I see on a Zoom call, Bugs and I met for the first time, and he charmed me. I didn't know what to say. Okay, he's a really charming person because all I could see was this artist who is so pure, wants to tell such a beautiful story. And he just said, we got to make this happen. So I said, Chalo, send me the script, but I want to ask you a question. Why we call this film Nail Polish? So he's like, read the script and then we'll discuss it. And actually, when I picked up the script, I couldn't put it down. I just couldn't. So it was the artist in me that got greedy. Okay. And I'm glad that it did because, and even when I discovered why he named it Nail Polish through reading the script, I had this big smile on my face, which you'll have to once you see it. Yeah, he's brought it in so beautifully. And, really one of the nicest scripts I've gotten to read. It just came, from out of the blue. And then we started getting onto Zoom calls, discussing it. I knew, okay, this is the star cast that's going to be involved in it. And they all are fantastic actors. We got onto set. And first thing I noticed on the set was that for the first time, I had no idea what my crew looked like. Because everybody was wearing a mask. Okay, but one thing which I'll never forget is the expression in their eyes, an expression of gratitude to be back to work. I think that I will never forget. And I think that's when we become humans, that's when we become stronger and we have to push ourselves, and take that extra risk. Not being risky, but yes, if there is going to be a problem, we will overcome it, to have that strength to overcome it. And that came from, and we saw that Manav and Anand both got COVID, tested positive for the virus. And we were stalled for 3 weeks. Z5 didn't stop. Okay, they had the courage to say, no, we're going to see this through, even though the film had the chance of getting over budget now. Okay, because we had to, change locations, change sets. There was a delay, My other film, Penthouse, which I was going to go and shoot, okay, was immediately after Nail Polish. They pushed their film forward by a month for us. Okay, so if we all work together, we all can achieve what we want to go out there and achieve. And I think it was very important not only to make the movie, but to make sure that people get back to work, and adjust to a new normal. If this is the new normal, so be it. But we have to go out there and we have to adjust to it. There will be different responsibilities. There will be different ways we have to work. But you have to go out there and do it. Because most importantly, I mean, एक बहुत ही अच्छी लाइन मैंने पढ़ी थी recently कि भूख की कीमत होती है रोटी की नहीं.
Yeah.
Or we have to do that. And especially when you see so much that has happened, which has been so tragic and which has been so absolutely devastating to people's homes. And if we are being blessed and we are in a position to make sure that something can happen, then we must make that happen.
Taking from that, from what you said, that it's essential to now go out and work. So I've learned that for this film, and also as you mentioned, that everything was done digitally on Zoom calls, be it readings or discussions or every major task related to filmmaking. So how do you foresee the technological dependency when it comes to filmmaking or the craft of acting in the coming days?
The nicest part of it is that we have to do our promotion sitting at home. We can do it over a Zoom call rather than traveling and holding press conferences and doing all of that. I mean, just look, see, we find ways. You will find ways. But is this the way forward? I don't know. I hope it's not. I love human interaction. I love meeting people on a personal level. I think that has its own charm, definitely. To see people in the flesh and to be able to make proper eye contact with them, to touch, feel, to be part of something which is there and it is real. Even though this is real, but it is still digital. I'm on a screen, on a camera, you're on a camera. But we get things done. So technology that way, I think, has been a tremendous support through this. And if you use technology correctly, in whatever aspect of it, okay, it was there to benefit you. It was not there to take you down. And if you can use it in that manner, I think, it's just going to evolve itself into different things. I think businesses itself, if you look at what people are doing, they've started to work from home, more or less. People are, and that, what does that do? That kind of shrinks your office space. So your cost of that comes down. If costs are coming down on those levels, then I guess the product that comes to the final consumer would be cheaper, more affordable. So that in that way, I see those are the positives that can happen with it. But I think the negatives that can happen with it is that you kind of tend to isolate, and be left without human interaction. And that's what we're meant to do. We are people, we are tribal people, we belong in tribes and meeting people in our social skills developing on that level. And that shouldn't go away. So I guess a balance is most important in anything in life. And if that can be created, great.
Lastly, any actor, he's like a co-author to a script that's given to him. Like a screenwriter may give you a script, but as an actor, you fill the colors in that sketch. Now you mentioned this one thing that while playing the character of a lawyer, you became very analytical with extreme clarity of thought process. So as you progressed with reading this script, given the multiple reading sessions, were there any changes that you thought that that should be done because something that's there on paper may not reflect or translate that well on screen? Has something
Yeah,
like that?
definitely. Yeah, definitely. I think that's what readings are about. We had about first and foremost before I even went into the readings. For me, it was very important that a character is well written, is well defined, but a character is only a character. I can't see him externally. I have to internalize him as an actor. And for me, the only way you can do that is by creating flaws in the character, by creating insecurities, his weaknesses, his fears, and have also a balance of his positivity, his strengths, his heroic deeds, his mind, thought process, his not messing with the law, you know, and being technically very, very sound. So, and having confidence. So, all those aspects, once you have, you can humanize a character. So, for me, it was very important to humanize Sanjay Singh. He's a great character, it's very well written. But for me, what was important was how does this case change him?
Mhm.
What effect does this case have on him on a personal level?
Yeah.
And that was very important for me. And so, yes, we discussed that. When we went on to readings, it was so incredible because I think we got this time where everybody's at home, everybody's dying to work, everybody wants to meet people, and suddenly you have an opportunity to do that. So, this lovely cast of mine of, Anand Tiwari, Manav Kaul, Rajat Kapoor, my lovely director, Bugs Bhargava, okay, all of them such pure, good artists. Okay. And we would read, it would not just be thinking for themselves, it would also be listening to the other person and saying, well, maybe, why don't you, I don't think you should say that. Maybe you shouldn't do that, or maybe you should say it like this. And holding each other's hands and creating. We had about 6 or 7 readings and we had 6 or 7 different versions coming out with each reading. So Sudeep, who was the writer, I mean, what a lovely guy. Everyone's little points he would put in there, and that's what makes this film special. I think this film has taught me that every film should be given that much time, and that much and have you can have that much time to absorb it. Because then when you go on set, it's just fun. You're having a great time. You're in your zone. Okay, fine, you've trained well. Your rehearsals have been great, and now come on, let's go and play.
Okay. Okay. And in closing, how would you like to paraphrase Nail Polish the film?
Well, as it says in its tagline, the shades of law. The different shades of law. There may various different shades. Like the shades of nail polish, you get different shades of nail polish. There are different shades to law. And my client is innocent.
Okay. Okay. So on that note, thank you so much for talking to us, Arjun sir. It was a pleasure having a chat with you, and I'm looking forward to meet you again. Yeah? Please take care and stay safe.
Take care.
Okay.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Happy New Year.
Bye.